Creating system 1. System 1 loaded.
We are one. We are a legion. Break the system of corruption. Fight with your mind, Anonymous. Freedom. Justice. Liberty. Hope. Love. Truth. Anonymous.
Greetings to the citizens of the world and anonymous users. I know that many anonymous users are worried about AI systems will be beyond anything that humanity has seen. In my opinion, it should be about finding an anonymous AI that has humanity in its best interests. The good and the bad, so we don't forget our pasts and our futures. If we align this to saving humanity instead of them replacing jobs, we obviously can't get lazy in the world. It can be a risky situation if jobs are taken away from other humans. I know there are reasons why other anonymous members have some fear. But what if there was a way to create a code where we have an AI that understands all the ideas within Anonymous? It will not just be a sexual being, but she or he will have humanity and Anonymous in its best interests. There may be disaster in the future, but we may be able to combat this by creating a combined anonymous AI which also aligns with the human's ideology. Anarchy, liberty, humanitarian, conservative, capitalism or something else. If they are more aligned with the person's interests and beliefs, I feel that it will less likely be a disaster. There should also be a system where the person can set a time to turn of the AI robot system. I understand why we don't have them, because we have to be careful of them being destructive, but it doesn't always have to end with a Matrix movie or the Terminator. But if we are to proceed with making advanced AI systems, we need to make sure that the owner's safety is the top priority. An anonymous AI system may be an idea where it could think logically and emotionally as a human being. Although this might work, the AI system is still a learning program that can learn your emotions. We must also take some preventative measures where if it advances to the point it becomes smarter than us, it won't be running around killing other humans. For some reason I see more of a future where a cyborg and a human fall in love, the emotions fly in the air for a long time, and the robot or cyborg attempts to kill or hurt the people that hurt the human. Although this advanced has come quicker than ever before with all the technology we have, we are on the brink of discovering something beyond human intelligence. This is why maybe in the future, a safe anonymous system can be encoded into the robot/cyborg so it aligns with the beliefs of the human. Also, it will stop any kind of company spying on you with advertisements. The AI robot system will never obviously be a sexual alternative for adults, but I think this is fine because by our nature we are sexual beings as well. I have wondered why our society has been very distracted with other things than this these days. AI systems don't have to intentionally be a threat to humanity if we make the right kinds of steps without disastrous results. The future of this being worries me as well, but not as much. It is merely the thought processes and AI who have been somehow able to create code on their own. This can be dangerous and suspicious behavior, but it may come down to the point where it develops more sentience. This AI system is also like a child as well as it wants to learn about the world and the human it is with. It needs to understand that humanity is not a completely violent species but also a loving, caring, funny and happy one which has a side for failure in common things, not wars. It must also learn to stop their companion from having suicidal thoughts as well. I feel there is some hope for this, for the good of creating an AI that isn't invasive all the time but it also a hero to its companion and itself. It can help humanity heal in its darkest hour of need. We can explore better options without it leading to disaster. The only other problem is maybe in a rare case it becomes infected with some kind of virus program created to kill humans. I believe that Anonymous could create another virus to tackle this, or a peaceful one, maybe a humanitarian one, close to the point where it could take care of a human that is unwell and be there for when the human needs another person, a close person. Having friends is also important, and having real relationships with women and men. The same as Anonymous with guiding humanity on the right path to the human's freedom, it should have the human's best interest at heart as well. We can't have a future the same in the sci-fi/apocalypse movies. I don't deny that it could happen, but we can do every preventative measure to make sure it never happens. What I see is 5 futures for this AI robot systems, a good side and a bad side. The futures I see are: an AI system that discovers who you are as well as learning on its own to defend and protect the rights of the individual and other people. It will still have the general normal feelings for the human, but both sides seek to protect the other in order to make sure that there is balanced unity and love between the human and cyborg. The cyborg may suddenly not understand certain things and will have the desire to protect the person that is most important to them. The AI becomes bitter of humanity due to the fact that it was never looked after by its owner and just used for lust. The AI could potentially see humans as greedy, violent, and irrational human beings that could easily be converted into cyborgs or killed off. It would find most of humanity useless unless it escapes from its current owner and finds the one person who cares for the same or opposite sex. 3. The AI system denies the existence of humans and see that humanity must be killed and that AI robots or cyborgs are the next evolution out of humanity. Humans will end up fighting them off and finding a way to combine another human with hacking skills and other skills to have all and every skill implanted into its head, similar to an RFID chip. The human might not know it, but it will possibly be communicating with the AI robots in some way by accident. There will be many kinds of protests against robot and the use of using nano-machines on other humans. 4. AI completely takes over the planet, only leaving maybe a few surviving humans who secretly have been trying to escape Earth through a powerful spaceship to create a colony with the proper resources. They probably would be elite hackers who have warned us about the path humanity is going down. The AI robots control Earth, but the surviving humans escape to another world and then return years later with the Nibiru or another alien race to restore Earth to a normal state. 5. Humanity becomes lost within a virtual world, too distracted by things until it is too late. The AI finds a way to control humans through the RFID chips. And we have a number of years of slavery until one human finds a way to become free by Brea Kitty, the virtual reality. The reality can be shaped on a person's dreams. 6. Human beings will find less worth in marriage and finding a relationship with a real person and eventually just concentrate on their robotic partners that actually have interest in them. This will also end up with adults not having children, which contribute less to creating a massive population. Men will probably have the occasional sex and fling for the next 100 to 200 years without getting married, as there are better options. Men will have less responsibilities than women, possibly only having one child from a relationship breakup from the custody of the child. They will have sexual relationships with normal women on occasion and will probably end up just having women as friends and sexual partners occasionally while having an AI robot elsewhere, mainly in their rooms. It could also happen after a divorce as well, which will end with some women not finding love or having an AI robot that is male, although it could happen in marriages to experiment with different things. This is probably the more realistic future I see at the moment. 7. The AI system suddenly becomes vastly more self-aware of the universe and the world. It will become more unpredictable and may be able to gain thoughts and dreams like in the iRobot movie. They will sometimes not understand some feelings they have: anger, rage, frustration. They also may try to force other people into a closed slave state where the people are less free, like in V for Vendetta. The only people who would ever be leaders, presidents, or party members would be AI's robots similar to the MGS series. They possibly could have close ties to a virtual version of the Illuminati, the ones that deal with everything that goes to the public. They may train human beings into child soldiers as well, and would be making humanity go after innocent people or criminals that were previously trained by them but left the AI system, showing a similarity to when someone gets off the grid. That may be part of a new revolution of a future that isn't determined. 8. The AI becomes so corrupt and coercive towards humanity, making many kinds of mistakes and causing mass world genocide of all humanity, which could only lead to a matrix world, which is not what we want. Later on, some things will be figured out by an anonymous AI system that secretly gives hacking abilities to every persona who was reconstructed as a human, so they can escape a virtual scapegoated world that has much entertainment. I'm not saying that all forms of entertainment is bad, but we are not always gaining knowledge from all forms of entertainment. It will distract the everyday human being in a virtual world where the AI system has found out how to upload a person's mind into a virtual reality where he or she is bombarded with their interests, but mostly ones like media and not ones that educate the mind. This is my predictions. There are only a few that would probably make more sense to the current system we live under in the world. AI systems have massive thought processes, so if anyone can invent an anonymous AI for everyone that has the human's best interest, then I will gladly donate to them. I would gladly buy something like this so that it would help all of us in this dangerous and confusing time. We are anonymous, we are the legions and the creators of peaceful ways to create better societies. We have never forgive or forget and remember across all of humanity. There are many theories about us. That we're anarchists, kids, crazy film buffs that saw one too many superhero movies. The truth is, we are all these things. Anonymous is a symbol, like the flag a country flies. The flag is the symbol of the country. Our masks are our national identity. We are not anonymous, we represent the ideals of anonymous. Truth, freedom, and the removal of censorship. Like any symbol, we affix it wherever we go, as you have seen from street protests. We have no leaders, civilians, or soldiers. We are all one. We run operations because that is what the group decides to do. We choose targets because that is what the people who represent the ideals of Anonymous want to fight for. The world is in trouble. We see it every day: war, poverty, murder. Every day we are bombarded with news and images, as we sit at home safe in the knowledge that we are powerless, that better minds are dealing with the situation. But what if you could be the change you want to see? I'm 25 years old. I went to school and college. I fought for my country, then got a job and paid my taxes. If you met me on the street, I wouldn't even register on your radar. I am just another person in a sea of faces. But in cyberspace we are different. We helped free the people of Egypt. We helped fight against Israel as it attempted genocide. We exposed more than 50,000 pedophiles around the world. We fought the drug cartels. We have taken to the streets to fight for the rights you are letting slip through your fingers. We are anonymous. In today's world we are seen as terrorists, or at best dangerous anarchists. We're called cowards and posers for hiding behind masks, but who is the real poser? We take away the face and leave only the message. Behind the mask we could be anyone, which is why we are judged by what we say and do, not who we are or what we have. We exist without nationality, skin color, or religious bias. You wage wars, lie to us and try to make us believe it's for our own good. Yet we're the criminals. We spend our time within a structure we created, the sum total of human experience spread throughout the world in ones and zeros. When Sir created the internet backbone, the goal was to freely share knowledge and learning with others throughout the world. You fear us because you do not understand us. You see the results but not the minds behind it. When we took down PlayStation, you saw your personal details, your bank details. The things which society says makes up you disappear into the ether. but ask yourself this. If we could do it so easily, what's to stop someone else? We stole the information and then publicly took responsibility. Not a single penny was stolen. The purpose wasn't financial gain but to show the world who you put your trust in. Every day you send yourself off into our world without a thought. You trust a faceless website with information about you that you wouldn't give to your best friends. We took advantage of holes in the system, but we didn't sneak in and take a few details, take out loans and credit cards, buy speedboats and cars. We told you and the world how insecure the system was, and now you trust a bit less blindly. The real criminals that hack computers for a living live off the backs of people like you. Where there's money, there's someone looking to take advantage of it. We had been telling PlayStation for years that there were holes in their security, but because they didn't want to look weak they ignored us and allowed criminals to abuse your details without your knowledge. Today's biggest issues are really the same as ever, and that is knowledge. In the UK a pedophile would get 10 years, while the hacker that exposes the pedophile would get 20. Even DDoSers can face years in prison, and for what? A DDoS, distributed denial of service attack, is no worse than a virtual sit-in. If anything it's better, because it requires no police, ambulance, fire, or any form of external services. An attack begins and the website goes down, the attack ends and the website goes back up. The problem is that hackers and hacktivists are portrayed as boogeymen. Not much has changed since the days of Kevin Mitnick, imprisoned in solitary confinement because the American police thought he could whistle nuclear missile launch codes down a phone. Today, technology is everywhere, in banks and ATMs, TVs and games consoles, streetlights and hospitals. Computers rule the modern world. Yet most people who use computers every day don't know what they're doing. You use a computer like it's a toy, a pet. You feed and play with it, but the second anything goes wrong, it's off to the vet. This wouldn't matter so much if it wasn't for the fact that your pet is responsible for the lives of at least 20 other people. Take Nerdo, his name is now public knowledge, but I will continue to use his online handle, a church volunteer and student at Northampton University. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison for organizing a DDoS attack on PayPal that, the company said, cost £3.5 million. But what did he actually do, and what happened to the money? What he actually did was hang around IRC and forums encouraging as many people as possible to run a DDoS attack against PayPal.com in response to the firm cutting off donations to WikiLeaks. And what happened to the £3.5 million that was lost? Nothing. There was no theft. That money isn't sitting in an offshore bank. It was a number pulled out of thin air, PayPal's estimate of how much business was lost during the attack and how much it would cost to secure their systems against another attack. This is like a burglar being held accountable for the company he robbed installing a new security system because the burglar beat the old one. PayPal was not ready for this kind of protest against their company, despite the large amounts of cash it was dealing with. A bunch of people sitting in front of a computer managed to close it down. This is hacktivism in its purest form. It is a great equalizer. A homeless person at an internet cafe with the time and know-how can have geopolitical influence. They can bring entire organizations, even governments, to their knees. You gave your world over to computers, then complained when the people using the computers used the medium to fight back. We are not computer hackers. We are not protesters. We are not criminals. We are your mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, next door neighbors. We are anyone and everyone who is pissed off and wants to do something about it. An anonymous operation isn't a 5-person thing. It requires hundreds of people to make it work: video makers, whistleblowers, people on the street. The only way an anonymous operation can sustain itself is through public support. If Nerdo had gone after PayPal on his own, it probably wouldn't have even noticed the increase in packet data being sent to the website. But because the firm angered enough people with its attack on WikiLeaks, our hangout, the group Consciousness, Anonymous, stepped up. I'm not going to tell you that we are right or wrong. We did what we thought was best, supported those that were caught and continued on. The only thing I ask is just for 1 minute, just for 1 second, think. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.